The stock market just sold off significantly because of a Donald Trump tweet. What's going on? Why is this happening? And why is the market already recovering off of that? Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Plus, tomorrow we have a big day in the markets with a big financial data. It has something to do with inflation that is coming out tomorrow. I'll explain everything. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button and let's get into it. Please read the disclaimer. So right now, if you look at the S&P 500, you can see it dropped off here, and then we've had a comeback over the past hour or so. If we look at Nvidia, for example, you can see it dropped down, now recovering most of the sell-off. Palantir, similar. AMD, AMD recovered, is a little bit lagging, down 5% here. Sofi stock, you can see Sofi is only down 0.88%, so it actually didn't get hurt too much. The stocks that got real whammy were of course, the AI stocks that are already, pulled up, like Micron. Interestingly, SanDisk was up about, I think it was, the market started off green and then started selling off, but SanDisk was up, I think, like 6 or 7% there in the beginning, yeah, and pulled back, of course. But now we've seen this big recovery, and this is all telling us that after yesterday, when we had a comeback, the market wanted to come back. The market wanted to be green today, but then we got this tweet from Donald Trump that basically said, "I have just been informed by our great military that last night the Iranians shot down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. There are 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump." And of course, oil popped, but now, didn't even break 90. So we got that pop, but I think that what people are thinking right now is, just before that, President Trump says the Iranian deal is imminent at least 37 times. The poll came through interviews with outlets like Axios, along with Truth Social posts and public remarks. So when you have a situation like this, and the president is saying, "Oh, we're very close to a deal, we're very close to a deal," but then he's saying, "I don't know, we're going to have to attack here because I can't look weak," right? I have this theory that this was all like a ploy to get the Iranians to sit at the table, because they're already sitting at the table, but they're not doing anything. They're like, "Hey, you don't have any leverage on us. Our economy is already in the dumpster, right? What are you pressuring us? Why should we give up our nuclear stuff?" And so I think President Trump was like, "Okay, let's try something new. Let's try to tickle them a little bit and see what happens." And he said, "I don't want to do it. Bibi, you do it." And so that happens. It got stopped after 24 hours. And now the Iranians made a mistake and dropped a U.S. helicopter. Now, President Trump can look weak here because he still wants the Republicans to win the midterm election. So he's saying, "Okay, we're going to attack." But we're seeing the stock market take that as, okay, maybe this is going to be like the last day, yesterday, and it's only going to be, maybe they'll attack somewhere and then, that's it, right? And not something full scale. And I think that's what the market is looking at right now. But we'll see. We'll see. Anything can happen in the stock market. Things can shift. Things can go from 0 to 100 very, very fast. The VIX jumped all the way up there to 23 and then got close back to 20. And so we'll see how this ends. There's about another hour and a half left of trading. What's going to happen with Nvidia, Palantir, AMD, Tesla, Sofi, Micron? What's going to happen with all of these stocks? Of course, we've talked about a lot of stocks on this channel. And what's so beautiful about this, that I just talked about this with my wife, that when you have a stock channel, there's so many stocks out there that you can talk about. But in the title of the video, you can only put, a few. You can't have like all the stocks you talk about in the title of the video. So it is what it is. But on the flip side, there's so many things to talk about, so many companies, so many things to give analysis about. And yet the geopolitical things many times moves the markets in a way that, maybe we like it and maybe we don't, but that's part of the game. That's, that's going to happen. And we're going to have days like today where the market really wanted to go up, but then a headline from President Trump has the market going down. We saw about $2 trillion wiped out from the stock market. Initially, people again thought that it was from the SpaceX, but this happened last night. So it could be that some people already knew before President Trump tweeted about it. Maybe the Iranians actually were shorting the market. Who knows, right? The people were already thinking, oh, because Friday we have the SpaceX IPO, on that's happening on June 12th. That's why we're seeing this continued sell-off from Friday. And no, I don't think that was the reason. I think maybe more people knew about this than we actually knew. And so that's what we're seeing combined with the situation that's happening tomorrow, where we have CPI. Now, if you don't know what CPI is, it's consumer price index. And we get all kind of data about what's happening with consumers. There's a whole list: energy, food, and so on and so on, transportation, right? And we get that data that's coming out. Of course, why is this data so important for the stock market? Right now, the probabilities that the new Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh, is not going to reduce interest rates. Why? Because inflation is still high and the job market is very strong. We saw that on Friday. So you can reduce interest rates in that situation, even though President Trump really, really, really wants him to do so. It's probably not going to happen. And so the only way that that would happen is if inflation starts coming down significantly, right? That could happen. And we get job reports that aren't as strong as this starts coming down a little bit. That's the only way, unless Kevin Warsh is going to surprise us, because Kevin Warsh is not previous chairman, Powell, that the probabilities that were happening on all the sites were giving us exactly what's going to happen. Maybe Kevin Warsh is going to look at the situation and he's going to reduce interest rates. And of course, when interest rates are lower, people have a tendency to invest more because they'll take out loans. They have less expenses, right? Their loans become also cheaper, the ones that they already have, and then they have more money in their pocket. And also you have big institutions that take credit and take a loan, and that becomes cheaper for them as well. So that is always good. Low interest rates are always good for the markets. And so that's going to be very interesting to see. Now, top 10 investment across Robinhood just updated for June. All 10 of the top 10 held assets are the same, except for one, AMD. And we talked about AMD with that massive run up from 200 to 400 plus, already at 465. So AMD got in there, replacing Netflix, which was one of the top 10 in the past few months. You have other 9 are Meta, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, Palantir, Ford. Very interesting that on Robinhood, Ford is in the top 10. I wouldn't think that. That's kind of weird. Let me know in the comment section. Why do you think why Ford is held so much on Robinhood? It's kind of an old folky kind of stock to invest in. Although it is up. Like if we go and we look at Ford, it is up from its low. It went down all the way to 8. So it is up over the past year or so. But as you can see, it's not like it was in 2022. It was also at 14, 15. And for almost 2 years, it just moved sideways. So it's interesting that that's in the top 10. Microsoft and Tesla, yeah, that makes sense. But let me know in the comment section, what is your top 10? You don't have to. I know a lot of people don't like to divulge their holdings, but let me know. Are you close to this? Are you totally different? Let me know in the comment section down below. And has CEO of Nvidia, Jensen, lost his pizzazz? Right? Previously, he kept talking about stocks, and they started going up significantly as a result. And today he talked about Qualcomm in the morning, and Qualcomm is down about 7%. It was down more, but interesting. It kind of popped up here when he talked about it, and now selling off. So has he lost? He says it's good to help others. We should be happy of other people's success. And so didn't help. Buy their stock, he said. That didn't help. So interesting. And something that could affect a lot of stocks tomorrow, outside of course, CPI, is the fact that Anthropic is going to expect to release their Claude Mythos tomorrow, the same model they said it was too dangerous for the public. And this new Claude had found so many 271 vulnerabilities. I got it. English is my second language, by the way, if you're new to the channel. In Firefox alone, including a 15-year-old bug in Mozilla's HTML engine and 20-year-old flaw in XML processor that years of human auditing had completely missed. Mozilla went from patching 21 security issues per month to 423 in a single month. When Mythos was first leaked in March, CrowdStrike fell 7, Palo Alto fell 6, all of the stocks that had to do with finding vulnerabilities in code fell significantly. So this could be a whammy tomorrow if it comes. But remember, when this came as a leak, it was a surprise and they fell. But if tomorrow it's coming out officially, then we already know that it was going to come out. But they did say previously that it was too dangerous to release to the public. So they kind of watered it down a little bit, I think, and made it safe. That's what they're saying. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow AI is going to take over everything. I don't know. But let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Do we see these stocks fall, or is it already cooked into their prices? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stock updates. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.